Another mid-season update, another dev stream, another set of patch notes, and another edition of the roadmap. That's right, Rumbleverse is here again with a big update, and just like the last time, I do mean big. We have so much new stuff going in the game with this update, and not to mention so many different balance changes and adjustments to the game. Much like the last time, the stuff that they mentioned in the dev stream itself are all the biggest things, and that's what I'm gonna be going through here, kind of speed running the whole thing to get you a quick recap on what's most important. But as always, if you want to watch the full stream, I'll link that down below, as well as link those patch notes. And since we've waited, I can show you the roadmap, and I can give you another little tidbit that Keats dropped that's nowhere to be seen in the patch notes. Starting off with that roadmap, just to get a look at like all the new moves and perks and items and the quad mode coming to the game. You can see there's quads, the special move Roar, coming in 3 varieties. We'll get into that more in a sec. Bunch of new items. We have all of our gold items that come out of those locked chests and the broom family of weapons, as well as that new guts perk. As you can see on that roadmap, this is the most new stuff we've got since the launch of season 2. Kind of makes sense with it being the mid-season update that we're getting a lot of content. Let's talk about that new content and then get into some of the balance changes and bug fixes and all the details for quads mode. Like we saw in the roadmap and previously in the launch trailer, we now finally have the Roar move. It is coming in 3 tiers, and unlike what I thought, where maybe the buffs on each tier just got better as the tiers went up, each move is a different kind of buff. So every Roar move is going to work on yourself and your teammates for the duration of the buff. They can all wall splat, they will all push enemies, but not your teammates. They all have the exact same range and area of effect. So starting off, we have the Empowering Roar, which is going to cost you about 50 stamina, and this is going to be your damage buff. Next up, we have the Energizing Roar, which is going to cost you around 55 stamina and instantly bring stamina back to you and any of your teammates that are nearby. And finally, we have the purple tier. It's the Nourishing Roar. This is going to give you that health buff to you and your teammates. Like I said before, Roar going to be a huge move coming to quads in any of the team modes that we have in the game. Really switching up that team dynamic and giving you kind of really set roles in the team as kind of like healers or, you know, just support roles, as opposed to everyone just being on the attack. But again, not completely worthless if you are solo. Those instant buffs and, you know, using stamina to get a stamina buff, it's all very interesting, and I can't wait to see how people use it. Next up, we have the broom. They're kind of referring to it as a bow staff style weapon. You know, I think like the dev said, we've all as a kid been sweeping, and you know, you start busting out the moves. We've all been there, don't lie. As you can see from the footage, and I think I mentioned before, we have about 5 or so different styles of attacks, very much like the Keybat. A lot of different movements here, a lot of different opportunities for combos. And we have the vicious sweep attack, which they show here. Got a very tight turn radius, and much like all of our other weapons, that's coming in 3 tiers. Really fun to just bowl through groups of opponents with that.
Yeah, it's a broom, but it's also like a sick bow staff.
And then we have a new perk, the guts perk. I mentioned this in the leaks video. This is gonna be another damage buff perk, and you're gonna be doing extra damage when you're at critical health, which is at 30% health or less. Finally, our new items, we finally have the locked crate in the game, and the keybat is going to come into play here. So you need an undamaged keybat to open these locked golden crates, and all of the items inside seem very worth it. So this is how you're finally going to get that gold chicken. We have the gold stamina drink, which I actually forgot about, and the gold cookie, which is going to give you superstar. So just like all the other large items, if you have the pocket dimension perk, you can pocket the locked golden crates, and when you have a keybat, there will be a little signal on there that'll let you know when you're getting close to one of these crates. And we're continuing the Kraken theme on these crates. What does it mean? Hopefully we find out soon. Something else they mentioned in between was that in custom matches, stats will now be at the end of restricted or custom matches. It's gonna be huge for the tournament scene. If you've ever been in Tupperware or I think Orlando's, you know, a lot of people are doing things with tournaments in the game now, so this will be a lot easier to track specific stats and not have to rely on which place you come in to determine, you know, the point system, which is much better. And we have our balance and bug fixes. Like I said, there's a lot here and some big changes to some fan favorites, namely Sumo Slap. But first up, affecting every kind of move and every player. Instead of wall splats finally canceling on the 3rd one, they will now cancel on the 2nd one. So you get 2 wall splats total in a combo. The team felt the long combos were a little too easy, so this reflects that. Damage scaling is up, however, from when they rolled it back to 0.75. It is now 0.9, so you're going to get a little bit more damage out of these short combos. And if you have the skill, you're still going to be able to put those long combos together. And then Sumo Slap, nerfed into the ground. Not quite that bad. They just felt that the move did a little bit too much of everything and did it a little bit too well. The air dodge cancel no longer puts you into the air, it actually takes you back down to the ground. It's a ground dodge cancel. Sumo Slap will no longer wall splat, it'll actually just knock the character down. The final slap on the Sumo Slaps have been rolled back from 80, 80, 100 throughout the tiers to 40, 40, 60 throughout the tiers. So I certainly don't think they've made Sumo Slap worthless, but having recently played a lot more matches than I had been, I think these are definitely some good changes. And hopefully make other moves more viable and switch up the gameplay. They've lowered the stamina damage on spin kick. The dive family got a handful of adjustments. They've nerfed ground slam moves overall by extending the recovery time it takes.
That's a no-go.
You have to bail out on hit to increase the likelihood that you're going to be able to combo with a dive move. It's doing a grab move into a dolphin dive combo is something that's going to be harder. They're saying it's still going to be possible, but it's going to be very tight. Not nearly as easy as it has been. The combo scaling here is down from 0.75 to I think 0.6.
All the combos starting from Dolphin Dive are going to be the same, but the ones that start from a grab that lead into Dolphin Dive are going to be harder unless you use bailouts and have good positioning.
Our throwables like the football and potted plants are doing more stamina damage on both hit and block. Anybody that played teams and ran into any of the new infinite combos will be happy to hear that the infinite low blow get up combo has been nerfed. Same with the liberate infinite combo, also nerfed. The second one of either of these moves will cause knockdown. Speaking of get up moves, now you can get up and dash instead of instantly going into a dodge roll. And they've added a little bit of a buffer so that you're not instantly doing one or the other or having any confusion when you're trying to do different get up moves. Bailout and air dodge cost has been changed across multiple moves, namely rocket jump dive and the edge family. I think rocket and dive were charging you bailout even if you had already completed the move. So they fixed that. In the edge family, the bailout cost has been reduced. Speaking of rocket, it's got a bit of a buff across the board. Both rocket moves are going higher than they used to, but if you remember my moves guide, they've stayed about the same. So your charged blue rocket goes about as high as your base purple rocket, and obviously the charged purple rocket going even higher than it used to. Both rocket moves carry enemies up with you, so you can do grab combos from height. And remember, height gives you extra damage on all of these moves. They did specifically say that you want to leave your direction neutral for these combos. Pressing in any direction can cause you to travel past your opponent. You're also now able to pull weapons or other items out before landing, so this can lead into a combo, or just being able to use an item a little bit sooner than what you would have before. Blocking while holding a weapon now sparkles. So what a lot of people didn't realize and was never really noted anywhere in the game is that if you block while holding a weapon, you don't take stamina damage and it'll prevent a stamina break. Why they never mentioned this, I don't know. I found out in a stream when Keats was there. Hopefully this indicates to people that something different is going on. It's still not specifically mentioned anywhere, but hopefully now you know. The oil and construction barrels never did vicious stun, but the text said they did, so that's been removed. They both still do high stamina damage on block and hit. Combo targeting has been adjusted, thankfully. I just ran into this problem not that long ago. Pressing directions will not change the direction of your combo unless there is another target nearby. So they're hoping that this prevents a lot of kind of mishaps. Even when I thought I was leaving the direction alone, sometimes I ended up hitting air, cost me a win. You would know that if you watched the Ice King video. Meditation got a bit of a buff this time. Meditation is faster now. They didn't specifically give an amount faster that it is, but as you can see, it's a lot faster than what it has been. It does still only go up to half of your effective health, and obviously only kicks in if you're below 50%. Part of the reason they sped meditative up, besides it just not working quite as well as they intended, is that the final ring has some major changes. It's now going to be on the move. Yeah, you heard that right. Overall in the matches, your superstar meter gained from taking damage is going to diminish throughout the match until it eventually is 0 in the final ring. You won't get any extra superstar from taking damage there. Once we hit that final ring, remember that's when it turns red. It is now going to constantly shrink. Before, it would shrink only when nobody fought for a certain amount of time, but now it's going to constantly shrink until it hits its smallest size. You remember the final ring at its smallest used to be pretty small. It's actually going to be a little over double that now. It was 500 units, now it's 1200 units. So where's it move? Where's it going to go? It randomly picks a certain direction and travels straight forever, or until nobody's left. As you can see, it's not moving super fast here, but on a long enough timeline, all final circles will hit water at some point or another. I think this is it's a wild change to the game. I think it's really exciting. This is going to be in all of the modes. It is just an official across the board thing now. This is definitely going to make the end of the game a lot more exciting. And I think like any battle royale, it's going to reward people that can adapt. Where some final circles were a little bit too tedious and definitely went on for way too long, this is going to prevent that. And maybe this is a way for them to not have to change some of the awkward positions we've seen in some of the final rings. This is going to move away from that rather quickly anyway. I think this is a divisive update, along with the, lowering the wall splat count, the big changes to Sumo Slap. Sumo Slap enjoyers gonna be a little bit sad this week, but then the final ring change. I think these are all things that you're either gonna find it interesting, you're ready for it, you welcome the change, or probably gonna be a little upset. But what do you think about these bigger changes? Let me know down below. And as usual, there's a handful of bug fixes. The elbow drop doing damage through shield, fixed. Popcorn party glitch, hopefully fixed. Said to let them know if you still see it. Ground attack vulnerability ending a little too soon and allowing a looping combo, fixed. Weapon vicious being blockable if only the area of effect hit, fixed. Golf club air vicious causing fall damage to the user, fixed. I know you guys are gonna be excited for this one. Fan mail glitch, not getting your fan mail rewards, fixed. Let them know if you still see it though. Same with title cards not being rewarded, that glitch, fixed. Issues loading into playground with a squad of 4 people, fixed. Climbing and ledge issues, fixed. Again, let them know if you still see them. And lastly, a secret update from Keats. This is gonna go in later, but KO'd players now drop a few star coins. You're gonna get a little extra superstar every time you knock somebody out. Lastly, quads. Finally be able to jump into the game with 3 other friends. You're all gonna start with 580 HP, have access to 4 pods, and there will be 10 teams total. There can be more teams if people are dropping in either as duos or solos. Again, always adding up to those 40 players. And that final ring change gonna be in all of the modes. They showed a quad match here at the end of the stream. As you can see, it looks like pure chaos. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be very interesting to kind of play with some of those support roles with the roar moves and come up with a team dynamic that works really well. Or just drop in solo and see if you can survive. I don't know if I'm up for the challenge, to be honest. I'll try. Like I said, another big update. I'm excited for a lot of this. Love to see all the new stuff. I think most of us agree with the changes, but how do you feel about it? Let me know down below. Haven't got to look at the files yet, but we'll see what new little goodies the game is hiding from us, what the team's working on. And if there's enough there, you'll see more on that soon. If you want to know more about what we already know, about what's not quite in the game yet, check out my leaks video. Or if you want to see how I absolutely dominated Snowball Trios as a solo, you can check out my Ice King video. But until next time, I'll see you at Ice Cream.
Needs a Keats shirt. What would a Keats shirt look like?
I think they want my Rumbleverse shirt with
Oh,
the rainbow logo.
I would take a shirt in game with Keats's face though. What do we think about that?